Hi, my name is Sam. Okay, because of my black caps, I have to say Mazi Sam Uche Anyamele. I'm a filmmaker. So I do behind the scenes and I also do the camera, not like in front of the camera. So you need to understand that we play both ends. Yeah, so that's basically me facing the camera. There are a few other part of my life, but it's okay. Well, if we get there, that's fine. So what is what? Okay, there's been. Allow me to say there's growth, yeah, but there's no development. So you have growth concentrated in certain, aspects of the production chain, and then the practitioners too. But then, as an industry, there's really not been so much development. For example, if you take one or two states or three states out of the system, you may just not have the practitioners functioning. Would you say the industry in that country is growing? I think I just leave that to you. Thank you. Okay, so what's really lacking is that there's so much concentration within the practice in certain environment, and perhaps, let me say, certain aspects of the practice. Okay, so let me look at it from maybe filming now. So you kind of have more people jumping into acting or facing the camera, and you have less people within the crew. So you now have same crew in a couple of productions. In fact, sometimes you may have to wait for a certain crew to round off a production before they start another production. So that's an issue because you probably want this same kind. In fact, they used to book certain DPs, what we call director of photography, to be on a certain project. And if they are busy, the production may have to hold them because of the kind of quality you expect from them. So it's lacking. You don't want to circle the industry or tie the industry to just one or two individuals that are becoming so much more powerful than the institution. And so that's a challenge. Another thing I think that can really help is if we can have a spread of the production houses, either television or, any other genre, if you can have them spread maybe across the regions, funded. So I don't even have to travel all the way to Abuja, for example, if I have to be a part of a particular production, when I know that, okay, within the West, I can fit in with the same quality. Within the East, I can fit in within the same quality. So you begin to find out that you find better productions concentrated in certain, regions than the other regions. So I think there should be a spread. Certain effort has to be made, consecrated, and concerted efforts need to be made on spreading this growth that is happening in the industry right now, so that there can be some form of development across the practitioners. You have, you even hear from statistics that the industry even employs largest, within the labor law, because basically you have just an average person who doesn't really need to have a degree to be a part of the production, because you just need to learn, as you grow. So this is lacking, and this is also lagging. So I want to trust that with time we'll get this right. Well, I like the word several breaks, and it's not like I'm gone. So I hope it feels like I'm back, but then I'm around. I just had breaks intermittently because I wanted to also balance life. I had to pursue academics, which is balancing out by God's grace. I'm an adjunct lecturer at the University of Lagos as I speak, and so that balance is one end for me. I had to balance life, married, yeah. So I keep home, being a father is another, being a husband is another. You keep that. I had to also balance business. Okay, I run SWA Global Infinity Concepts, and so for some reason that also requires some kind of attention in and out. how to also balance ministry. That requires a bit of attention from a spiritual perspective and all. So there's been each of those movements, and there are a few more really. I also do a bit of events, where I put events together, anchor events to some of that call. So one demanding part of the industry that it calls for your time. It may require you to be out of town for 2-3 weeks. Wow, that's a tall order. And for some of us who probably want to play lead roles or sub leads, it requires that kind of time. But I thank God there's been a bit of balance in some of these pursuits. So maybe I'll pick it from your word and back.
First 1 million was when and how?
Woo! When I think my dear, that's kind of question I go think am first now. Should I for you? First 1 million, maybe some 10 years back or something. I can't remember exactly when. When? Okay, that was when. About that time. How? I think it was my share of a deal. I think so. Because the other ones came after I did a movie that was bought off by the stronger platforms, and I made some 7 digits. Yeah.
Last trip was when and where?
Woo! I think last trip was Rwanda. Last year or 2 years ago. Yeah.
What's your favorite line in a movie of all time?
I'll take mine. When you hear go wait, make it complete. I don't know. I think the character Richard was speaking to someone. He said, when you hear go wait, make it complete.
What is your favorite street slogan?
Tuale Baba. So why his favorite is, I rather use it to God. I don't use it to men, because it's like you're submitting yourself. So I rather do Tuale to God. Yep. Woo! I love this question. Longevity. Let's be practical with this question. I think this is germane. Know what you know. Be good at what you do. Be known for what you know. What that does for you is that you really do not have to belong to caucus or cabals. Your art will find you out. Fortunately for me, I've been on 1 or 2 productions where I really can't even remember who referred me. Or somebody just watches a production and say, "Please, can I reach out to this guy?" In fact, I've been out of the country to shoot, and I was the only Nigerian on set. Yeah, so I think there's something about your art, your ART, not your ACT. It's something it does for you. It speaks. It's a language. It's a universal language. I mean, most of us watch some of the Paloma and all that. We didn't probably understand what they're saying, but you can follow the ART, which is shown in the ACT. All right, so hone your arts, guard it jealously, and it's even interesting right now. It's not even about the language. There are a lot of indigenous actors who are cut across. I mean, globally. So what are we talking about? So that brings longevity. So I remember one of my friends told me something years back. I hope the guy is still fine. I've not seen him in a while. He said, "Don't worry, you're actually growing with the industry." Woo! I mean, I feel young, but I've done 20 years. In fact, I've even done more than 20 years, because I remember I did Schemes. Schemes was 98, 99. Thank God the producers and directors are still alive. Tunji Bamishigbe, Charles Owóyẹmí, Rafun Adike. They are there. I was on Schemes, a small boy. So if you look 1999 to 2003, thank God the years are still dark. Yeah, so it means I can still fit in the young lover, the lawyer, the husband of 1 or 2, or uncle. In fact, I played a father to one of the newer girls today. I'm like, and I wore costume, and I'm like, no, you fit in the follower. Oh my goodness. So longevity is embedded in the ART, in the art. It grows. You're just into it. And because the art is in the art. I hope I'm speaking English. The ACT is in the ART. So it gets better as you grow. That keeps you longer. That's longevity. Oh yeah. There's a project we're working on right now. My co-producers are from Bielsa. So we're just waiting for the election to, make it clear. Before you go and invest in too many things and you start running hell to scatter. And we've got a couple of the A list joining us. Let me not bust it out, but I mean, I'm on both ends. I'm both on the cast and the crew. So please just stay tuned. That'll come out shortly. To the young ones first, time as life flies, all right? Make the most of it. Don't be in a hurry, but don't be like the sluggard, all right? We operate differently, we'll start differently. It was Aki and Popo, but nobody can bear that anymore. Nobody can be star with Aki and Popo anymore. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Nobody can come in those midgets and be star again. It's like that's a space that time and chance have created for them. So try and find out yours, be prayerful about it, hone your skills, and be ready for challenge, because never be at the comfort zone of thinking you're the best and you know it all. No. Then again, be multitasking, be an auxiliary player. Don't tie it to. Try and find out how you can get improving with what you do, so you can be a utility player within the team. That makes you stay longer in the team. All right, at Uche Official, that's for my Instagram. Then Uche Anyamele Facebook. That's basically, I'm not so much into the digitals, but then that's it.